So much.
Thank you, Mr. Lalota. I now recognize, also from New York, Mr. Goldman for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am from New York City, and as I sit here today, I would expect that this would be a really powerful hearing for the New York City Council, but not clear why it's one in the Congress of the United States, which seems to be fixated on New York. Another bill we had last week was totally focused only as a messaging bill only on New York. I appreciate that our witnesses are buddies of the chairman, but respectfully, none of you, other than Mr. Awade, have any expertise about immigration policy. And I've been listening to what you've had to say, and I just want to go through a couple of things so that we can make sure that our facts are correct. Mr. Blakeman, you are aware that every single migrant who has come through the New York City, the Roosevelt Hotel, has been vetted at the border, are you not?
They have not, sir.
Yes, they have.
In my
the ones who have gone
Sir,
through
can I
official
answer?
channels through the city
May I answer your question?
have been vetted at the border. I mean, that's a fact.
You asked me a question.
I'm
Would you like
asking
the
if you
answer?
know or not.
Would you like the answer?
Let me
sir?
ask you another question. Are you aware?
Are you gonna let me
that,
ask?
No, I'm
answer
not.
the
I'm
first
not going to
one?
let you because you already answered it.
No, I didn't.
Are you aware that the proportion of migrants who have come through New York City who commit crimes is far lower than the general population?
Sir, I would not agree with your facts. I have spoken extensively with our police commissioner, who has indicated to me that because of the migrant policy, there has been a spike in crimes, especially organized burglaries.
Wait, sorry,
the
the commissioner, which?
Commissioner Patrick Ryder, we have the
From-
finest
from
police
where?
department
From where?
in the United States.
From where?
He is a commissioner who was appointed by a Democratic county executive, and I retained him.
What county?
The greatest county in America, Nassau County.
Okay, well, let me tell you, in New York
You
City,
visit once in a while.
in New York City, where almost all of these migrants are, the crime is much, much lower among the migrant community than it is among the general
I
population.
don't know where you get your facts
Now,
from, sir.
Go check it out. We're in a public hearing. You can check it out. Mr. Blakeman, let me continue. Oh, Mr. Ansbro, you indicated to me that one of the real issues, or you indicated to us, one of the real issues that the fire department is having is budget cuts. Mr. Blakeman, I think you said just a minute ago that one of the problems that the city of New York and the state of New York is having is that there is very little federal money flowing to help with the migrants who are coming. Is that right?
That would be Mayor Adams' testimony, not mine.
Okay.
I agree with
I mean, all right, you just
I
said
agree
it.
with him, but Mayor Adams
You just said it.
that.
Now, you're aware there's a program,
Democrat.
there's a federal program called the Shelter and Services Program that can reimburse localities and states for expenditures on immigration. Are you not aware of that program?
I think they provide a very small part of the financing and funding that would be needed.
I agree. I agree. Which is why, if we had Republican support, we could increase the funding in the Shelter and Services Program so that the federal government could offset the expenditures of New York City and of the state of New York through the Shelter and Services Program so that we would not have to have budget cuts to the FDNY. But you want to know what the problem is? In H.R. 2, their prized border security bill, it cuts all funding for the Shelter and Services Program. You know what else H.R. 2 does? It cuts all funding for legal counsel for unaccompanied minors. And, not surprisingly, it does not mention guns. Now, Mr. Blakeman, you've discussed, as several of you have, the scourge of the fentanyl trade that is going on in our country, and I agree with you. It is really bad. And we've had testimony from actual experts on this over the course of the last year who have made it very clear that the Mexican drug cartels are the ones who control the fentanyl trade at the border. And unfortunately, the Mexican drug cartels have that authority because they possess guns and weapons of war. But unfortunately, those weapons of war come from American manufacturers, not from Mexico or elsewhere. I have introduced a bill called the Disarming Cartels Act, which is designed to curb the exportation of weapons manufactured by American companies to the drug cartels, which fuels the fentanyl trade operation. There's not yet one Republican co-sponsor. I would urge my colleagues on the other side to recognize that the source of power of the cartels who control the fentanyl trade comes from American-made guns, and we need to stop that exportation, and I hope my Republican colleagues will join us in that effort. I yield back.
Well, thank you, Mr. Goldman.